Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, you guys wanted me to, so I did. Here's a picture of some of my holdings of gold and silver. I'm just playing. That is a beautiful picture, though. That is a lot of gold and silver. And if you think this is a lot, it's not. There are tons of people inside Wall Street Silver posting pictures just like this. The average Joe and Joan are stacking up on gold and silver like never before. You can easily say that over the last couple of years, gold and silver holders have become a lot more wiser and educated on gold and silver, and they're not believing the hype that's out there surrounding gold and silver, nor are any of them concerned about the price of gold and silver dropping. As a matter of fact, I did read a lot of comments where people were happy about it. Why? Because they could pick up more of it cheaper. They know the day is coming when an explosion is going to happen in the market, and they're going to be well off when this day comes. Before we get started, though, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. If you think about buying gold or silver, check out our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. And one last time, let's mention our friend over there, Eric at Washington Street Jewelers. I just wanted to let everybody know the appreciation Eric has. They have received a lot of phone calls from my subscribers. But the weird thing is, I thought for sure you guys would jump all over the silver, but instead everybody's jumping all over the gold. And that's because of the great deals that they're getting from over there at Washington Street Jewelers. What I just wanted to do is just send one reminder that they do have silver as well. So to call up and take advantage of some of their deals on silver. Like I said, they're trying to liquidate some of their holdings because they have other plans coming up here real quick. So just reach out to Eric at Washington Street Jewelers, 209-532-1820. Today's Sunday, so they're not open. So tomorrow morning, they open up California time, 10 o'clock in the morning. All right, we saw that cryptocurrencies took a huge step forward, and they have not really relinquished a lot of those gains. They have come down just a little bit, but very little at all. So it's taken a big step forward. But we definitely want to see consistency and the price going up again. Bitcoin sitting at $23,345. Ethereum is at $1,681. XRP is at 38 cents. Cardano is at 51 cents. Solana is at $42.45. Dogecoin just still sitting right below 7 cents. Polkadot at $8.74. Polygon's at 92 cents. Shiba is 4012. And as usual, if you come over here and take a look at the graphs, you can see they all almost mimic each other exactly. All of them going across green and then taking a dip with a small red dot. That's because all the cryptos move together at the same time, whether it's up and down, the vast majority of them, which I've expressed several times as one of the concerns I have about cryptocurrencies. Luna came down just a little bit. It's at 4097. Satama is at 2039. Still close to that 204 mark, which is good. I would like to see that sucker continue to grow and eventually get to not just 1 cent, but at least $1. That'd be really nice. You can take a look at Satama over the last month. Has been doing very good with some very slow growth. I'll take it as long as it continues to move in a positive direction. And this shouldn't be surprising to anybody. Overseas markets for gold and silver are now open. And I was anticipating some movement by the powers that be to try to drive the price of gold and silver down. And of course, you can see right here, it dropped down almost, immediately 10 cents. When you look at hour by hour, it continues to move in an upward pattern. But silver at $20.22. They could try to manipulate the prices all they want. People are not falling for them anymore. Gold sitting at $1,763.60. the same thing like silver. It is heading in the right direction. But I'm sure the fact that a rich billionaire bought $50 million worth of gold and silver with the potential to buy even more has really grabbed the attention of gold and silver investors. Sometimes when I hear another YouTuber talk about the same subject matters that I am, they mention some things that I think should be repeated, but also other items that definitely need to be pointed out. This is James over there with SD Bullion. He has a great channel as well. We'll leave the link over to his YouTube channel. I encourage you guys to go on over there and check him out. Tell him Pimpy sent you. Let's check out what James has to say, because you can see by the name of the title, Silver in London and the comics is increasingly disappearing. So you better get your share before it's too late.
Silver spot price weakness, especially over the past month, this July 2022, has only added to increasing physical silver offtake and demand pressures worldwide. Global silver mining supplies are just not keeping up with ongoing demand, so silver is being sucked at premiums from places like London and silver COMEX warehouses. Since the early 2020 pandemic-driven gold and silver bullion shortage arbitrage, and then the late January 2021 Reddit Wall Street silver squeeze phenomenon kicked off, the persistent demand for physical silver bullion has had near no letup, spiking in strength, especially when silver spot prices fall as they have recently. And this is confirmed by ongoing data.
So you heard what James is saying. Every time the price of silver drops, then there's a massive buy. Because it's just like picking silver up on sale. The same with gold.
Supposed silver warehoused in London has not been at levels this low since early 2016, having now rolled over nearly negative 200 million ounces from its peak, just after the silver squeeze kicked off in earnest early 2021. What actual amount of silver bullion can actually be acquired and pulled from this aqua-colored section of this London silver warehouse pile is unknown. But I'd bet strongly that it's much tinier than this chart gives off. But for devil's advocacy, let's just say the supposed reported silver bullion inventory float in London at the moment, which is supposedly around 10,000 metric tons. That's just over 321 million ounces of silver bullion. The nation of India alone, when their silver demand remains persistently high as it's been this month and last, that amount, 321 million ounces, could be taken in just over a year running. Turning to the North American COMEX side of this 1,000 ounce silver bullion bar offtake equation, this week we saw a massive amount, nearly 5 million ounces of silver, leave the deliverable registered pile into the not up for potential physical delivery eligible pile on the COMEX silver side. You can see the dark green line cascading downward here in the bottom right of the chart, and it's been sharp of late. Basically, about 100 million ounces have been sucked from the COMEX silver registered pile since the Reddit Wall Street silver squeeze phenomenon began.
That's right, man. Give you guys a round of applause and a pat on the back. Ever since the initial silver squeeze, the silver has been getting drained out of the COMEX non-stop. Let's keep it up.
We're now nearing falling COMEX registered silver warehouse inventory levels, back where they were when the spot silver price basically tripled from early 2010 into early 2011. Silver bullion stackers are not only buying bullion hand over fist, they're also reveling in anonymously showing it off to one another in forums online where they rally around other like-minded bullion stackers. Moving on to the fact that the USA is now, by official data and cogent definition of words, in an economic recession. All while continually living in a state of seemingly eternal financial propaganda, where the literal head of the Treasury goes on Sunday morning news shows to confuse and gaslight typically elderly viewers with highfalutin semantics and economic quackery.
A common definition of recession is 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, or at least that's something that's been true in past recessions. When we've seen that, there has usually been a recession. But I do want to emphasize what a recession really means is a broad-based contraction in the economy. And even if that number is negative, we are not in a recession now. And I would one that we should be not characterizing that as a recession.
I understand that, but you're splitting hairs. I mean, if the technical definition is 2 quarters of contraction, you're saying that's not a recession?
That's not the
No?
That's not the technical definition. There's an organization called the National Bureau of Economic Research that looks at a broad range of data in deciding whether or not there is a recession.
I don't know why anybody would be shocked that this type of thing is happening. Under Obama's first 2 terms, he did the same thing. What they would do to keep Americans believing that the economy was good, everything was A-OK, so around election time, Democrats wouldn't get hammered in the election. They would just lie about everything. They would change the definitions, they would lie about the way numbers are recorded, and then they would stop showing the public particular reports that came out that would prove that they were lying. So now that Obama is into his 3rd term, nobody should be surprised. I remember when they used to count people who ran out of unemployment benefits as people who went back to work. It never was done before, just so you could say unemployment numbers are looking good. But what people should have been focusing on is job participation numbers continue to decline. And having Jerome Powell go up there and talk about transitory inflation and Yellen coming up here lying about the definition of a recession when they know we're well on our way in a recession.
We've got a very strong labor market. When you're creating almost 400,000 jobs a month, that is not a recession.
Okay, first of all, they're not creating anything. These are jobs that people are going back to pre-pandemic. See, to me, job growth would be what was the numbers before we went into lockdown, and then anything above that would be job creation. They're not. We're still way below where we were prior to coronavirus.
Of course, when we finally do indeed get around to finishing off the second half of the global financial crisis, all bets are off on how badly phony precious metal derivatives are going to perform. If the 2020 pandemic retail bullion shortage wasn't less than enough for you, back when the spot gold-silver ratio ballooned to the mid-120s as if it were the Great Depression in the 1930s, back then in the physical bullion world, that number never got into the triple digits. Silver bullion goes missing, or premiums get priced so massively divergent that the level of GSR never gets to where the spot claims. In another global financial crisis, gold bullion is going to go missing and premiums are going to get blown out as well. Speaking of escalating premiums in gold, they've been happening on the gold bullion coin side of our industry, as I warned you they would here about a month ago. The US Mint's Gold Eagle and Gold Buffalo coin production numbers are not keeping up with escalating ongoing gold bullion coin demand, and thus price premiums over spot on those most popular gold bullion coins, and thus nearly all other subsequent smaller bullion products, are rising in accordance. Now, you can come back later this decade and check out this video and see if my contention here is proven correct, but my strong suggestion is that any gold bullion below 2,000 an ounce in hand owned long term is value worth saving.
So now is the time to invest in the gold and silver if you haven't started already. For those of you who have not converted your 401ks, your IRA, now's the time to do so. Reach out to our friends over at Money Metals, 1-800-800-1865. Tell them Pimpy sent you, and they'll help you walk through the process of converting some or all of your retirement. This way, then, your nest egg is protected. If you're one of these people standing there with your fingers crossed, hoping that the stock market's going to rebound, I think you're just heading for trouble. That's just my opinion. At least do yourself a favor and diversify. Have some of your money in your stocks and the other portion of it in gold or silver just to protect yourself. The goal is to try to achieve what we see here in this picture. Wouldn't you love to have a collection that big? I know you guys are thinking, Pimpy, don't you? Actually, I do, and then some. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, wouldn't you like to have one this big? It's absolutely gorgeous. I like the way they have it all laid out. Definitely, without a doubt, great presentation. What do you guys think of the picture there? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Anyways, that's it for now, you guys. I will catch you later. I'm out.